gonna try this one more time. Connect. Okay. Maybe? Okay, I think. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, I'm so sorry. That was really weird. Yeah, I don't know. I use a streaming software, but I've never had issues with it before. So sorry about the very, very long delay. Thank you. Thank you. I need to do my hair. Like, my hair needs extreme deep conditioning. But thank you so much. Uh, I hope everybody else who has lost the stream finds the stream again. Otherwise, it's just going to be a really small room with just us hanging out. So, okay, we're in. Let's just go for it. Let's just go. Let's not worry about what happened. I'll try to figure it out later. Thank you for your patience while I tinkered. Today, we are talking about the brass folded nib. I've got a whole slew of them. I kid you not. This is just a small portion of them. And the reason I wanted to talk about them is because last week we did the Kakamori nibs, the brass one and the steel one. And this time I feel like these are a lot more um, funky. So when I'm doing the writing samples, you'll see what I mean. They're a lot more funky. So what I want to do, I'm going to explain what they are. We're going to kind of see why people do that, like why would we want this. We'll talk about where you can get them, and then we're going to play with them while we do all of this. So first things first, I have this one. You may notice it looks very different. This is not a folded brass nib. This style is called a ruling pen, and you might see them in different shapes, like they've got long I've got two more here, sorry, I meant to have these. They've got longer, thinner and the plates are adjustable, so the metal is adjustable with this screw. These are ruling pens. They are used for lettering, sketching. People use them for all sorts of things. We are not going to be using these today. We can do that another time. I just wanted to show you because you may think, "Oh, it's a metal nib. It's all the same." They are not. So, we are looking at these. These are brass folded nibs. Now, in the brass folded nib maker world and calligraphy world, they're usually called a folded pen, which can be kind of confusing because often you have to purchase just the nib if you're buying it from someone who makes them by hand. You can purchase them completed. So this particular one I purchased at John Neal Bookseller, and it came with a holder. Clearly, this is a custom hand-turned holder. This one is the Stationary Universe Waves of Neptune holder, and just like the Kakamori, it comes out. So let's look at them individually. So I'm as zoomed as I can get, so hopefully this is sufficient. These are actually brass. You can definitely hear it. Wait, before I continue rambling, let me just catch up here, make sure we are good. Okay. Welcome everyone. Thank you for your patience. Everyone who's coming in, I really appreciate you waiting while I figured it out. Okay, so when we have the brass pen or folded nib, we have something that has started out as just a brass sheet for real. And then whether it's done by a machine or by hand, someone doing it by hand, it gets folded and you can see there's a little space in between. You can I have a piece of paper here just for this. Depending on the style you have, oh god, my aim is terrible. Hang on. One sec. There's a reason I'm doing this. I just want to show you that there is a space in between. And so that little space is what allows the nib to hold ink. So, you also are probably wondering, why on earth are they all different shapes? Well, the different shapes give us different writing styles. So I'm going to try a few so you can see what I mean. In the description of this video, I have put in some links to where you can see the ones that I'm going to be trying out, and just in case you want to follow along with the links, or you can check them out after. Okay, we have any questions so far? Are we looking pretty good? Audio is too low. Hang on, let me raise my audio. Hopefully this is a bit better. Let me know. I will keep an eye on the chat as we go. Okay? Sorry. It's because my head is turned. I'm sorry about that. So, let's pick the first link that is in my description is the folded nibs made by Toronto Pen Company. And so he really just takes these brass sheets and he folds them up and he grinds them into, like, cuts them into different shapes. As you can see, they're in different shapes. So let's start with the big chonker one. And let's hope I've got a bottle big enough for fitting it in. Okay, we're going to open it up. Okay. Oh gosh, there's ink everywhere. So this one is a particularly large one. This is the 3-in-1, and we're going to see why. So the way you use this is you just dip it in your ink, and the ink is held by tension between the two plates of the brass. Now, it takes a bit of getting used to learning how to write with it and ways to manipulate it. But the idea is you just put it on the page, and the capillary action, once it hits the page, the capillary action and the surface tension will result in your ink coming out at some controlled pace. So they're definitely broad, somewhat messy writers, and that's the whole part of it. Like, that's what is so fun about it. They are real, like, I really enjoy them. Now, because if you remember the Kakamori nibs, because the Kakamori nibs had grooves around the entire little nib, it held the ink and controlled it a little better. And the grooves were also serving as like an ink reservoir. The ink reservoir is just held between the plates. And so it takes a bit of practice to understand how much ink you're picking up and how much ink can be held and how long it'll last. And sometimes if you like knock it, you'll knock your ink out. So this one is the 3-in-1, and I'll show you why. So he designed it with 3 writing surfaces. There's this part, there's the tip, and then there's this whole flat surface. And so let's just write with the back side first. Gives you a really, really, really broad wet line. The tip is more like a wet triple broad, double broad. And then, as you saw earlier, the first line we did was way down here. And if you're really good at it, and I'm not because it takes a bit of practice, if you're really good at it, you can write on the lower half as well, which has a lot more chatter. So by chatter, I mean the plates rumble a lot more, and so you get a bit more splatter, which is a lot of fun. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna just make sure I'm in there a bit better. The chatter is one of my favorite things about folded nibs. Okay, so you probably heard it, but that's what I mean by chatter. It splatters because the plates are rumbling against the page. And it's one of my favorite just favorite qualities of the brass folded nibs, like the way that this works. And again, when people ask me, Gourmet pens, how do you use up so much ink? This is how. Um, if I sat here for an hour with this, I would empty this entire bottle. Probably not even an hour. I would empty this bottle and I would fill this entire notebook. So it's definitely a part of our hobby that will use up your stuff. If that is something that you aspire to, and you don't have to, but if you're someone who says, I want to actually start using up my stuff because I have a lot of it or because I want to explore, this is a really great way to do it. So let's take this page out. Okay, I'm going to take this page out because it's very wet. But I really like what happened with it. Okay, we're not even bothering with the perforations. We're going to just leave that over there. Okay, so, and then to clean it, it's easier to clean than the Kakamori nibs because you're just swishing it around in the water. You don't have grooves to worry about. Okay, so let's do that. And then, just like with the Kakamori nib, when you're removing it, you want to twist it and pull. Okay, so I'm going to just dry this off. That was so much ink in there. There's still ink in there, but that's fine. I don't want to worry about it too much right now. I want to show you a couple more of the folded nib styles. How are we doing in the chat here? Am I keeping up with you? I'm not missing any questions. We look good. It's a very, yes, it's very expressive. It's a really very tactile writing experience. Okay, let's try this one. This is the one I got from John Neal Bookseller. And I believe this was called a Tim's ruling pens, and so it is a gentleman who makes them by hand. They're all a little bit different, and I just happened to pick this one. This one is not brass, this one is steel. So I just thought it would be fun to change it up. It has a much sharper point, as you can see. Like it's stabby. So let's do a bit of writing with this one. So the way I usually get it going is I just kind of put the plates to the page and just move it up and down just to get the ink flow moving. Okay, I did that on purpose, but I wanted you to hear it and also see how much ink is held in it. And let's see if there's any more. No, it's empty. Okay, so the tip. Okay, come on. There we go. This one requires a lot more ink to get going. It's very juicy. This is one of the reasons I really, really appreciate the folded nibs by Toronto Pen Company. He's really a master at crafting these, and so he's really good at crafting different styles for different line types, but also for very controlled ink flow. Like I don't know where he learned to do this, but he really is really, really good at it. Ah, okay, we're fine. We're good. We're good. Yeah, this one requires much more dipping, so I'm going to just keep this with me. Hello. Jello. So some people hate having to dip constantly. Doesn't bother me. And so for me, this is not a prohibitive step. I quite enjoy it. I misspelled Timmy's. Yes, I did. But I did not misspell Hello Jello. So this is what it's like if you're writing more on the tip. It's a very sharp, because we saw it's much sharper, but it's very sharp. I really like the dramatic movement, like the dramatic and crisp lines that you get from the tip of this one. That's a lot of fun. I'm gonna write meow just because it's on my mind. Have you seen the new Sailor King of Pen? It is the Tenacious Tabby, and it's a rippled or like a tabby striped pattern of ebonite. Unfortunately, it's on a King of Pen, so they're very expensive. But I thought it was pretty cool because I love cat things, obviously. I love cats. So here is just a way, or just an example of how I might write with something like this. Really funky, very inky. Give it a little tap, and then let's clean that one off. My water's so blue, as you can tell. Let's try this one. I prefer the ones from Toronto Pen Company as well because it can be removed from the holder, and I like being able to take it out to clean it. Okay, let's turn the page. We've given up on letting them dry. Things are not drying. If you have a boring ink or what you think is boring, use one of these and you'll suddenly find it is not boring. Okay, let's try a new ink. This one is the Toronto Pen Company Great Lakes. Now we're going to use some Robert Oster Go-Go. Wake me up before you go-go. I actually don't know if that's what it's named after, but I very much like it. Let's use this one, I'm gonna say. So this one, let me see if I can show you here. Okay, so the first one we used, you could see that the plates were much closer together. They're almost touching right in the middle. The one we're going to use now has a much more generous space, and so it's going to be fun and inky. So let's load her up. It just fits into the holder. Okay. Then we're going to dip it. And you can see the way that the ink moves on it. It kind of beads up, but he's roughed up the surface so that it holds the ink. Because this is what I mean. The guy knows what he's doing. He's very good. So, as I said, get it moving. Ooh, this ink is a little drier. So I do think I'm going to have to dip a little more, but that's fine. This is how doing this is how I have knocked over entire bottles at pen meets on white granite tables and stained the tables and never gone back to a restaurant again because I was embarrassed. So, it can happen. This one's a lot of fun. I quite like it. Let's see what the tip does. Ooh. Very versatile. Really good if you are an ink swatcher, because you can make a nice swatch and then you can use the tip for the ink name. So we've got Robert Oster Go-Go. Very, very cool. It's so wet. It's so hilarious. Okay. That's not a nib, it's a plowshare. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do 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 do. Let's see what the yes, thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Wendy Sue, for noticing that. Let's see, shall we? Let's see what the bottom part does, though, down here, because sometimes if you can get the angle right, this is why I like the short nib holders, because you can get it really low to the page. So let me just get it going. I mean, it's just one of the most versatile things ever. Okay, it runs out real fast though. It's just dumping ink. It's so wet. But it's still writable. You can still write with it. I think these are just some of the coolest things on the planet, and they're so affordable. Like they're really quite affordable. 20, $30, um, depending on what you're getting. Like, and if you already have a nib holder, um, you don't really need to purchase a nib holder. Okay, let's clean that. Let's clean it. Do we have any questiones? You can definitely use a butter knife to write with, but you can't control your ink flow as well with a butter knife. How do I know this? I've tried. That's how I know. You do not have the same kind of control of your ink. So we have done those two. Let's do a smaller one for more sensible writing, shall we? If we want to call it that. So same thing, it just fits in. We're gonna peel off this sopping wet thing. What is the finest, most precise thing you could do with one of them? Well, it really depends on which one you have. Good question. If you're looking for something fine, I would look like something where you could write more fine. I would look for one of the designs that comes to a point more crisply. Like something like this has a really much sharper point than this one does, for example. So this versus this will give you a crisper line, control your ink flow a bit more. Here's something else you can do. If you have one where it's just, oh god, everything I say here is going to sound wrong, where it's just gaping and there's too much ink, you can actually squeeze the shoulders, like the spine closed a little, and reduce the gap, which will slow down the ink flow, slow down how much ink it's holding, and give you a bit more control. And if you want to reopen it, same thing, you just pull it open a little bit. But, kind of do that at your own risk. I mean, your own risk being you're disrupting what the maker or whoever has crafted these has intended. Okay, let's see. How do you buy an A4 notebook by mistake? I am very curious. I'm not judging, I'm curious. Okay, so this is the smaller one. Let's do... Oh, that's a pretty fine line. Okay. Hello. I've definitely seen people do art with these. I don't think it's for very, very, very highly detailed art because you might get ink blobs. But if I could draw in a way that was recognizable, I would draw something for you. Unfortunately, I cannot draw. So here is a folded nib for you. A brass folded nib. There you go. That's what you get. Sure. Useless drawing. Okay, let's see if we could do some maybe small writing in one of the lines. Why am I writing sideways? Just because I find I have the best control over it. But you, of course, do not have to do this. You could write any way you want. I like the way the lines are shaped when I do it this way. So this particular nib you can absolutely use for relatively regular writing, I would say. And here's where you can do something fun. So we've got juicy coming up. Juicy. Bouncing. Kumquats. So if you want more control, dip more often and hold and pick up less ink. So don't dip as deep or for as long. Um, Sam B5 God's own paper size. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, no, this is A5, just if anybody is curious, if that helps at all for the reference. Reference. Let's do some cursive, just to see how it might look. Um, okay, not bad. I haven't used this particular one in quite some time, so I was kind of curious how it would work out as well. We're just doing this together for the first time in a long time. We are together on it. It's a team effort. Dream, a team dream. A dream of. No. Never mind. Let's just leave it there. It works quite well for cursive. I find it quite nice. Um, Not super duper precise if I'm not paying a lot of attention by cleaning off the nib before I write, but I think it's pretty awesome. Let's do a nice juicy juicy. It deserves that, I would argue. Juicy. Bouncing. Kumquats. Yeah, okay, let's see how this one doesn't chatter as much. I don't recall, if I recall. I mean, I don't think. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's wash that one off. Clean her up. Pertinox, an answer to your question, yes, this one is not a full-size holder. Let me show you. So something like this would be a full-size holder. 5 or 6 inches. This is the like a mid-size contoured holder. This is just a Nico black wood holder. And then I also have mini holders that are like this big. I have them in the shop, I'm just saying. They glow in the dark. And they're really good for being able to fit like into your palm and get really low to the page. Um, I I prefer the smaller holders. Okay, that was a nice wet one. I hate all this paper scrap everywhere. It is bothering me. It is upsetting. Let's do some hand lettering. Oh, I got a different notebook for hand lettering. It's the Maruman Namasane, as we know. I love that. And let's use a different one. Let's use this one that has a really flat front and all its edges are pretty crisp. So let's just see what happens. Let's just go for it. I don't know if it's going to fit in the Robert Oster. It does, so we could play with 2 inks. He will make more. Give me 1 second. Yeah, they tend to sell really fast. There are different shapes. So, the C2PO is still available. It's a smaller one. It's kind of like this. No, sorry. It's kind of like this one, but just a smaller version to fit inside of an ink sample vial. So that one he still has in stock. And I will also let him know to get cracking and make some more. But you can also get them from other places. You can get them at John Neal Bookseller, Paper and Ink Arts, And if anybody else has an idea of where you might be able to get them, please feel free to share the link. Like if you have a local calligraphy store that you really like or something, please let us know. Okay, so one place you can get them as well is if you're in the UK, shoot, what is it called? Calligraphy Direct, I believe. Okay, so this one is a juicy baby. Shows off the shading really nicely. Wildly. Ooh, this one's nice and chattery. Oh, I love it. If you also want, and you're a bit of a crafty person, just give this a quick Google. A folded nib out of a cola can, and you can have your very own folded nib made at home from a cola can, a pop can. So check that out. It works. I have done it, and I am not a crafty person, and it works pretty well in the interim. So, okay, this is a fun one. Let's look at the chatter activity, but also the shading that it brings out in the ink. So fun. So, what's hilarious to me is like imagine writing a pen pal a letter with a nib like this. It'll be like a 40-page letter, and you'll say, "Hi, how are you? Love you, bye," and that's it. That's all they'll get. Um, pen folded nib. Yeah, if you just search Cola Pen folded nib, here, I'll just pop a possible link in the chat for you guys. There's one option. It's super easy. You can make a whole bunch of them. Um, Also a great like pen meet activity if you have local pen meets and you guys are looking for stuff to do. A lot of fun. Burn through those inks, burn through those notebooks. It's just really, really quite delightful. 7 wildly, and then I'm going to switch to the steel one just because I don't want to wash it. Oh, that's fun. It's fine. It was just glued. Um, your closest one is in Winnipeg or Minneapolis. Oh, that's funny. Okay, okay. Let's wash this up. Let's wash it up, jazz it up. I don't know why I said wash it. That doesn't make sense. Um, 7 wildly. Penting juicy kumquats. We're gonna end up with a really weird sentence at the end of this. Panting juicy fruit flies. Oh yeah, some good activity. Great for doodling. No reason you cannot doodle with these. And if you are a real artiste and you use stuff like gouaches and stuff, you can use these with it as well. So that is a pretty cool option. I mean, you can pretty much do whatever you want with whatever at any point in your life. There's just always the consequences we must consider in our activities. Like, sure, I could use this with I don't know, stuff. Did you guys just see the balloons? How is that happening? Is that me? Okay. Is that you guys? Uh okay, my volume is like really maxed out. I'm sorry. Hang on. Okay. Um I don't know why I'm getting balloons. Is that you? Okay. Wait, how are you doing that? Yes, sorry. Let me answer your question. Let me move the inks out of the way. Um this is the notebook. Yeah. It is the 183A5 version. So side coil, top coil, and opens this way. Okay, let's let this sit and fester a little bit. Let's try a different one of the nibs because we have a couple more. Just see how they work out. Right? No harm in it. Okay. I haven't done this one yet. How do I know which ones I've done? I don't know. Insanity. I was asking myself that. That's me. Where are the balloons coming from? What on earth? Maybe it was something in this? Like maybe my movements? I don't know. Anyway. Bizarre. Super weird. Okay. Let's do... Oh, wait, did I do this one? No, I didn't. I used the sharp one. I can see I have had an impact on my bottle of ink already. So... I'm gonna hold it. I'm worried I'm gonna knock it over. Hello. Jello. Okay, so if we write on the tip of this one, let's see if it's the circles. We'll find out. And then the very flat surface is not going to be as chattery as the last one that was sharp, but I do think we might get something out of it. Small chatter. I'll show you in just a second. And then the last point. Oh, there's some chatter on that one. Okay, let's look at your chatter. Ooh! Oh! That was exciting. Oh. Okay. I'm into that. I like that. Okay. So if you... I'll just... You probably can see it because it's pretty significant. That looks pretty fun. I think. Yeah, these are so much fun. I really enjoy playing with them. And kind of, I mean, it's been a while since I've played with them, so it's really fun for me to rediscover what I can do with them like this. Like it's really cool to see what they're up to. I gotta go back and watch because I felt that, like, the shock on my own face, but it was so exciting. Oh, my circles. The balloons. Okay, we're gonna stack that. It's just getting chaotic over there on that stack. It's a stack of... Nothing is fully dry. This is Rhodia. Is it the peace sign? Oh! Oh! Okay. Wait, what do I do? 2 thumbs up. Because I remember when I FaceTime, sometimes it gives me something. Thumbs down, thumbs up. Huh. Okay. There we go. Mystery solved. Thank you. I was a little freaked out there. Question, do I want an appointment with you? Yes, but I want an after dark appointment with you. That Okay, I just saw rain. Yes, an after dark, like after hours, pen shows after dark appointment. If that makes any sense. I don't know where the rain came from. Maybe the thumbs down? Okay, I'll stop. Sorry. That's not the whole point of this stream, is not to do that. Um, okay, let me just do a little bit more chatter because I really enjoy it. Chatter. I have no idea what's going on with the rain. I wish I wasn't wearing a nice shirt right now. I wonder how much I could control the chatter, like how much practice it would take to really be able to aim it. Or if it's just something that cannot be controlled. It's beyond control. I don't think the tip had it. Nope. It's just that lower part. And it needs a decent amount of ink flow for lubrication. That's really fun. I'm into this. Okay, so this we've used up about this much ink. So like up to here. So like a visible amount. That is how much ink we have used. Yes, the chatter's fun till you chew the paper to shreds. It takes, I think it takes also a little bit of figuring out your paper combination and what nib you're using. I was using a pretty heavy hand because this is pretty robust paper. But I think otherwise you want a light hand for your chatter. I'm guessing. I like the chatter. Okay. Okay. That's wet, so we're gonna put that there. Let me see if one more we could do with some chatter while we have a few minutes. I'm gonna go back to the first one, which is that big 3-in-1. Okay. Because I just want to test. I'm not pressing, but I do need to press a certain amount to keep the contact. Let's see what it does down here. Ooh. Okay, I need more ink. Interesting. Very, very interesting movement. I find this so fascinating. Check out these lines. Hang on. Like, look at the activity here. I think that is so incredibly cool. I mean, I don't really know what I would do with this particular type of activity on the page. Oh, I got it all over my pen. And all over my hand. But not over my face yet. It's bound to happen. If you're somebody who can make stuff, there's probably templates to make these online. Like if you're good with brass folding, I am not. I don't make. I leave the art of making to other people who know what they're doing. You get more chatter with the push strokes. As opposed to the pulling it towards you. Interesting. Yeah. Respectfully, I have a more youthful back. Oh my god, that cracks me up. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Audio waveforms, but I couldn't figure it out. But it looks so unsettling. I love that. I wonder if this was to like if somebody could translate it into audio, what it would come out as. You spelled diamine maroon on your leg and forgot about it, and then later saw it and freaked out. That's valid. Um, Listen, let me tell you a story. This is kind of maybe gross. When I shower, I collect a lot of hair, and I don't like to put it in the drain because it freaks me out, and it'll plug with the drain. So what I do is I bundle it up and I roll it and I put it on the edge of the shower so that when I get out, I'll put it in the garbage. So the other day, I picked up this little bundle of hair and I tossed it in the garbage and I missed. I wasn't wearing glasses, okay? I couldn't see. And I remember thinking to myself, I should pick it up and put it in the garbage now because what's going to happen is I'm going to go empty my garbage in a couple of days and I'm going to forget that the hair fell and I'm going to think it's a giant spider and freak out. Well, I thought to myself, no, I'm too lazy to do it right now. I'll just clean it up later. Guess who? Guess who forgot? And went to clean up and take out the garbage later and found the clump of hair under the garbage can and completely freaked out because they thought it was a big spider. It was me. So I should have I should have known. I should have known. Okay, so those are that is those. Um And then the funny thing is you put these in the recycling and then the poor recycling people, especially if it's a rainy day, end up with all this stuff and they're like, "What where is this all coming from?" And I feel really bad about it, but you know. Yeah, strings and pedals, you don't seem like the kind of person who would just like make stuff. You know. Maybe you should just not bother with harmonics and make brass folded nibs forever. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Please continue making them. So, I store my nibs in this because they're pretty robust little things. Robust. Robust. And they actually fit really well. If you're interested in these and you like them, I will let Toronto Pen Company know. Please, please, please make more. So keep an eye on his site. I don't get a commission or anything. It's just that I really, really love his work and he's an awesome dude. So that's kind of the idea. Yeah, I kind of just want to hang out with you guys now. I don't want to do any work anymore. I thought I saw a spider, but it was only yarn. It's dead yarn now. Oh my gosh, that there is okay, let me see if I could find this. Okay, it was on TikTok. I hate TikTok, I'm sorry. But long story short, animal lover rushes sick baby hedgehog to vet, only to find out she's been caring for a pom-pom, like from a hat. And I just love this story so much. It makes me laugh. And the other part of it, a well-meaning woman was concerned it hadn't moved or even pooed. I think that's so funny. Oh, gosh. And so the vet comes out and says, it's not a hedgehog, it's a hat bauble. So, I mean, that's pretty adorable. I'm gonna put this link in the chat because you gotta see the picture that she has. Okay. What should we talk about? I don't know. Sorry, but my thing didn't work. I don't know. I'm tired. I had a lemonade. So, okay. Michelle, my sister is scared of all bugs. She called me one time around 10:30 and was like, there's a huge spider in the kitchen. Can you kill it? She wanted you to come over. She wanted you to come over to get the spider. I don't hate bugs. I just don't want them on me or in me, like in my mouth or any of my ears or orifices. You know what I mean? I'm not really into that. So, I can tell you, I haven't watched it yet, but I know Fountain Pen News has just put out a massive like flex mega video, a flexathon, like a flex marathon of like 26 or something, 21, I can't remember, a whole bunch of flex nibs. So if you're interested in flex, go check out Fountain Pen News' video because I have to watch it too. We should do like a watch party where I just watch and then comment because I have a stream of mental commentary, and so what I end up doing is just leaving a whole bunch of comments as I think it. Thank you, Flextravaganza. Joan, your cats take care of bugs. See, this is where cats are very useful. Okay, your husband wasn't home and you couldn't, so she called her neighbor to come get okay, she's got to be like that is serious bug fear then, for sure. But that's really funny. I'm sorry. Yeah, looking at the bauble, I could totally see why she would think it's a hedgehog. It's so cute. Oh, it makes me laugh so much. Um, let me see. There was one. I can't find it fast enough, but um on Instagram, on one of these stories, somebody commented saying that she is she like like she's a rescuer, and so a wildlife rescuer, and so one time she's in a parking lot and she sees a hedgehog on the ground, and the way she describes it, that she like gently and tenderly bends over to pick up this pick up this hedgehog so gently, and she cups it in her hand and then realizes that it's a pom-pom. So apparently this happens a lot. So anyway, okay, well, I feel kind of stupid because I don't want to just keep rambling about hedgehogs and pom-poms. Thank you guys for your patience today as we got the stream going. I say we, it was basically just me and YouTube arguing with each other. I don't know what happened, but I'll go and make sure that the second stream, the one that was clipped, is removed so that this is the only one. And I'm sorry, Ruth. That is so funny. You would buy that bauble a cage and an exercise wheel with a battery and make people think it was training for the Bauble Olympics. That absolutely makes my day. That is probably my favorite thing I've read today. So thank you for that. Thank you all so much for joining me. Next week is a live stream of the new, the Mont Blanc. So it's the second part of their Ferrari series. It's the Giallo Modena. And, it's not my pen, but it's going to be interesting because I'm going to open it up and we'll see if it works. So it's like $1,000. Let's see if it works. It's not my pen. So if it doesn't work, we can make fun of it. It's okay. So apparently it's actually more than 1,000. Anyway, it's not my pen. I didn't pay for it. So anyway, that's my story. I will now be quiet. So thank you again. You are all fantastic, and I love having you here in the chat. It really, really makes my day. And all your stories just, I've got a big smile on my face now, and thank you. Take care. I will see you guys next week. And if you have any suggestions for any videos you'd like to see, please, you could send me a DM or you can send me an email at gourmetpens@gmail.com. And I will do my very best to accommodate. Otherwise, I will see you at the Chicago Pen Show. Have a wonderful night. Okay. Bye. Toodaloo. See you later. You could be a hedgehog pom-pom bauble thingy. And we could just go in our little boxes and eat hedgehog food. Okay, bye.